So Grandpa, I've been meaning to ask you, you're not trying to make great-great-grandpa's secret turpossum recipe again, are you?
Oh, no sirree. Last year's disaster was enough to make me swear off possum stuffed turkey forever. Don't you think?
If by disaster you mean everyone throwing up after dinner for 3 hours straight, then yes, I agree.
Yes, I have learned my lesson. No more trying your great-great-grandpa's secret recipes.
I can't tell you how awesome it is to hear you say that.
Yep, this year we're going a complete different route.
Just turkey, I hope.
Well, it has turkey in it. I'm calling it a turktopus.
That better not include what I think it includes.
It's a turkey stuffed with fresh octopus.
Grandpa!
Octopus is a great source of protein. It'll be great.
Why can't we just have a regular old turkey like all the other normal families?
Regular is so boring. Besides, it's a Stevenson family tradition to try some crazy new thing for Thanksgiving. We were never a family that tried to be like everybody else.
Oh yay, we are that family.
Speaking of family, where's Chester?
Yeah, he should be in here enjoying this as much as I am.
I appreciate you allowing me to wear this hat that you made at school, Chester. I just don't understand what it is for exactly.
It isn't a hat, it's a headdress.
My apologies. A headdress. But what is it?
Respect the headdress it took me forever to make.
Really? How long?
A whole 5 minutes! It was a nightmare!
Just tell me what is so important about this headdress today.
You mean you don't know about Thanksgiving?
The holiday where humans overeat and then pass out in a food coma for 2 days? Yes, I'm quite familiar with Thanksgiving.
No, I mean the real Thanksgiving, how it got started.
I guess I don't.
It's your lucky day then. We just learned about it in school. Well, to understand where Thanksgiving comes from, we have to go back a little bit further before the first Thanksgiving. In the year 1620, a ship named the Mayflower left England. The 102 passengers on board, known as pilgrims, were searching for a new home.
We would like to practice our faith freely and own our own land.
After a terrible 66 days at sea, the pilgrims landed near Cape Cod. A month later, the Mayflower crossed the Massachusetts Bay and began building the village at Plymouth. In March, the pilgrims met some Native Americans, one of which was called Squanto of the Pawtuxet tribe. He taught the pilgrims how to grow corn, catch fish from a river, and how to avoid poisonous plants. A year later, in November of 1621, after the pilgrims' first successful corn harvest, Governor William Bradford organized a celebration feast and invited some of their Native American friends to attend.
Welcome all to the first Thanksgiving.
So you see, Robbie, it's not really about stuffing our faces with food. Thanksgiving comes from a time where people from different backgrounds come together to be thankful and celebrate their success of working together as one.
Sort of like you and your friend Gobi, right?
How's that?
You two come from very different backgrounds. You are American, while Gobi is from India. But these differences don't keep you both from working very well together. Say, shouldn't you invite him over for Thanksgiving dinner, just like the Pilgrims invited the Native Americans?
I don't know about that, Robbie. Being thankful to God for all He's provided for us is the main purpose of the Stevenson family Thanksgiving. Gobi doesn't exactly believe the same things we do.
Well, I guess that's true. But the more he's around you, the more he's able to see God's love.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Chester, it's time for dinner. Come on.
Coming!
There you are, boy. Hurry up and wash up so we can eat. The turktopus isn't going to eat itself.
It just might, as fresh as that octopus was.
Grandpa Eugene, I have a question. Is it okay if I invite my friend Gobi over to eat Thanksgiving dinner with us?
You want to invite someone over at the last minute, do you? Of course we can invite him over. It would be an honor to share our family's tradition with him.
Great! I'll call him now. I'm glad you can make it, Gobi.
Well, thanks to you and your family for inviting me to join you all.
We're glad to have you, Gobi. Now before we get started, we usually read a verse from the Bible and reflect on what it means. Is that okay, Gobi?
Hey, it's your house. Who am I to say no?
That's mighty generous of you. Now Psalms 107 verse 1 says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever." Now who can tell me what that means?
Ooh, me! It means that we should always thank God for all He's done for us because everything comes from Him. But it also means that we should give thanks to God no matter what happens, good or bad. Because in the end, God is a loving Father who only wants what's best for us. And that love that He has for us will always be there. That's why Psalm 107:1 says, "His love endures forever." That's why our family celebrates Thanksgiving. Not because of the food or even because of the Pilgrim's original celebration feast, but because we want to take time to thank God for all He's done.
Thank you, Chester. I couldn't have said it better myself. Does anyone want to say something that they are thankful for? Alex?
I'm thankful we only have to eat something like this once a year.
How very inspiring of you. Chester?
I am thankful that we live in a place that allows us to openly thank God.
Excuse me, but could I say something I am thankful for?
Well, of course, Gobi. Go right ahead.
I am thankful that I met you and your family. I didn't think I was going to like it here, but because of the kindness you all have shown towards me, I am very glad we moved here.
Well, thank you, Gobi. That is very kind of you. And might I add, we are thankful to have met you too.
Can I ask you a question though?
Sure.
Why does your turkey have tentacles? And why are they moving?
That's a Stevenson family tradition. We eat weird stuff.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, everyone, let's pray. Dear God, thank you so much for all the wonderful blessings you have bestowed upon us and our family. I know it's been quite a long drive, but are you two ready to get to the farm?
I guess so. It'll be pretty cool to be able to pick out our Thanksgiving turkey. We are cooking just turkey this year, right?
Chester, is that you making all that racket? Chester! Chester!
Don't pet the robot chicken, he bites! Huh? Oh, sorry, Grandpa Eugene. I must have dozed off.
Well, wake up, boy. We're here. Here we are, kids. Pullman Farms.
This is a big place, Grandpa Eugene. Look over there. It's a cow. And look, a pig, too.
How exciting, a pig rolling around in the mud. We don't have to touch these things, do we?
No, Alex. You don't have to touch anything. I thought since the turkeys are near the back of the barn that we could just take our time and just look around and tour the farm. Sounds good?
What are we waiting around here for? Let's get going.
Chester, come back. It's this way.
Oh, wow. This smell.
Remind you of simpler times?
Makes you want to live on a farm?
What? No, the smell is making me sick.
Really? Let me take a deep breath and see. Yep, okay, that's pretty bad.
Told you.
Anyway, kids, let me take this time to tell you a little about farms. A farm is generally a piece of land used to raise animals and grow plants for food. When you think of farm animals, cows are usually the top of the list. Cows are easy to feed because they love to eat grass. Cows are farmed for a number of products, which include meat and dairy. You usually don't put farming and fish together, but did you know that fish farming, also known as aquaculture, makes up more than half of all the seafood eaten around the world? China provides 62% of the world's farmed fish, while we only provide about 4.5%. Some of the most popular fish farmed are tilapia, salmon, and catfish. Besides animals, farms also grow the plants we eat, like corn, wheat, potatoes.
Potatoes? Ha! I wish I could make mashed potatoes out of that bully at school.
Huh? Did you say something, Chester?
Oh, sorry, Grandpa Eugene. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You said something about the bully again, Chester.
I thought the bully had quit making fun of you, Chester. Did he start doing it again?
Yeah, just a few days ago.
I know it's tough to have to deal with that, Chester.
It's not fair, Grandpa Eugene. I just wish I was able to walk up to him and make him into mashed potatoes.
I wish I could help you turn him into mashed potatoes.
Okay, you two. Now, I want you to listen to me. I know this is a difficult situation, and I know that this bully is not acting like he should, but we need to remember a little farming lesson from the Bible.
Farming lesson?
In the Bible?
That's right. We need to remember the fruit of the Spirit.
They sure sound yummy.
There aren't actually fruit, Chester. In Galatians 5:22-23, we see that the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These are good fruit that people should see in us. But did you know there's bad fruit too? In Matthew 7, the Bible says that healthy trees create good fruit, but diseased trees create bad fruit. It also says you can tell which tree is which by the fruit it produces. Now this bully, he's mean and makes fun of you, right?
Yep.
Is that a good fruit or a bad fruit?
Bad.
Correct. Now if you were to make mashed potatoes out of this bully, would that be good fruit or bad?
It will be bad.
Exactly. Remember how one of the fruits of the Spirit is patience? Well, another name for patience is long-suffering, which means showing patience in spite of trouble, especially those caused by other people. I know it might be hard to deal with now, but let me read one more Bible verse that should make you feel better. In Galatians 6, the Bible says to not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we shall reap a harvest if we do not give up.
So basically, God is saying that I just need to keep my head up, keep producing good fruit, and everything will work out in the end?
Yes, Chester, you got that exactly right.
Thanks, Grandpa Eugene. Who knew farming had so much to teach us?
Not me. I still can't get over this smell.
Oh, and Grandpa Eugene, I'm sorry I said I wanted to make mashed potatoes out of the bully.
That's okay, Chester. Don't worry about that. And speaking of Thanksgiving foods, we need to hurry up and pick out a turkey.
How do we know which one to choose?
I say we pick the fattest one.
Whichever one you pick, let's hurry. It's getting late, and we still have another stop on our trip.
We do?
Sure, we still need to get to the second half of our main dish. This year I was thinking about combining the turkey and a giant snail. I think I'll call it a snurkey.
Ah!
What'd I say? Wake up, boys. Don't you know what day it is? We have a ton of stuff.
Grandpa Eugene, what in the world is wrong with you? You can't sneak up on me like that. Of course I know what day it is. It's Thanksgiving.
The day I get to rest and be thankful for that rest. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to finish watching my morning cartoons before I go take the first of my 3 Thanksgiving naps. Oh, that's funny.
Chester!
Ah!
Oh, good. I can finally have your attention. Now, as I was saying, we have a ton to do to get ready for this evening Thanksgiving dinner at Professor Tin Whistle's manor.
Grandpa Eugene, can you explain to me again why Professor Tin Whistle couldn't just come over to our house for Thanksgiving? This seems like an awful lot of extra work.
Well, since we have a talking robot, a Yeti from Nepal, a talking flower, and a dinosaur living with us, we simply do not have room to fit them all around a kitchen table for a proper Thanksgiving family dinner. Not only does Professor Tin Whistle have a table big enough to fit all of us, he is the only person who doesn't mind a robot, a Yeti, a talking flower, and a dinosaur.
Yeah, I guess we do kind of have a unique family. But wait a minute. If the dinner is at his house, shouldn't he be doing all the work?
Chester, don't be silly. Professor Tin Whistle can't cook and prepare all the food. We're in charge of most of the side dishes, since Professor Tin Whistle is focusing on the cooking of the main dish, a traditional Thanksgiving turkey.
Yes, we'll all miss your weird turkey concoction this year. What was it going to be? A turkey and alligator combo?
Actually, the plan was to stuff the turkey with a seasonal pile of sea cucumber fillets. I was going to call it a tucumber. Alex?
She was definitely being sarcastic, Grandpa Eugene.
Oh, you know, some people like uniqueness.
It will be unique this year. We're actually having a regular edible turkey for a change.
Ooh.
Anyway, Chester, I want you to head upstairs, put on your clothes, and head out to the greenhouse to pick the vegetables we need. I'll leave the list on the counter.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Chester, phone call for you.
Okay, coming.
Now don't forget about those vegetables after you're done. Chester, that boy has an attention span of a housefly. Oh, Chester, there you are. I'm glad you're finally off the phone. That list of vegetables I need from the greenhouse is right over there on the counter.
Okay.
Everything okay, boy? You seem a little down. Who was that on the phone?
It was Gobi.
Oh, how is he doing? Is the family well?
Yeah, they're great. Just well.
I can tell something's bugging you. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what's wrong?
Gobi is moving. He's leaving Georgia. His father got a job offer in Oregon, and they'll be moving there in just a few weeks. He won't even be able to make it to the Thanksgiving dinner tonight because they're currently in Oregon looking for a house.
Chester, I'm so sorry, boy. I know this is hard.
What? You mean losing my best friend? Yes, it is hard. Why are they doing this to me, Grandpa Eugene?
I know it's hard, Chester, but sometimes life throws you a curveball. And how you adjust to the pitch determines whether or not you hit the ball or strike out.
You know I don't understand sports references, Grandpa Eugene.
Right. How about this? Sometimes life gives you lemons, so you can choose to make lemonade to make the best of the situation.
I hate lemonade.
Chester, listen.
I think I'll go get the vegetables now.
Well, howdy there, Chester. Eugene told me you'd be coming to pick some vegetables for the Thanksgiving dinner. I took the liberty of taking note of the best-looking picks of the bunch. Over to the right is a great group of ripened tomatoes, and to the left there, some fantastic-looking squash. And directly behind you, Chester, are you doing okay, sugar?
No, Iris, not really. I just found out my best friend is moving all the way across the United States.
Robbie is moving? I didn't know robots could live on their own.
No, not Robbie. Gobi. My best friend Gobi is moving to Oregon in just a few weeks.
This is the worst day in the history of forever.
Well, Chester, I know it may seem that way, but remember what today is. It's Thanksgiving. I'm sure if you look hard enough, you'll find something to be thankful for.
Nope, can't. Impossible. How could anyone feel this way and be thankful?
Well, get comfy for a minute, Chester. I need to tell you a story. I know you know about the first Thanksgiving, right? About how the Pilgrims came over to the New World, made friends with the Pawtuxet tribe, and together they had the first Thanksgiving feast? Well, did you know it happened after a very hard and sad time for the Pilgrims? That first winter after the Pilgrims began building their village at Plymouth was especially brutal. Most of the colonists actually lived on the ship, where they suffered from several different diseases. Only half of the Mayflower's original passengers lived to see the spring. Then something amazing happened. Squanto of the Pawtuxet tribe met with them and taught them how to farm, fish, and avoid poisonous plants. Then that November in 1621, the Pilgrims organized a feast with their new Native American friends in order to thank God for His goodness. This feast, what we know as the first Thanksgiving, lasted for 3 whole days.
Wow, I never realized the Pilgrims went through so much hardship.
Exactly! Now, Chester, don't you think that the Pilgrims who suffered greatly found things to celebrate and be thankful for? You can too?
Humph! I see what you're trying to do, Iris. It's not gonna work. I still don't think there's anything to be thankful for today. I'm losing my best friend. End of story. I am not thankful for that.
Oh, hello there, Chester.
This really is the worst day ever. First, I lose one of my best friends. Then, Iris tries to lecture me about the Pilgrims because it's Thanksgiving. Can you believe it, Robbie?
As a matter of fact, I can believe that. I am, in point of fact, tied remotely into the phone lines as a monitoring system. So I know all about your phone call with Gobi.
Really?
Yes, and I am very sorry to hear he is leaving. I will miss Gobi. He has become a good friend of mine as well.
Yeah, everyone wants me to be happy today since it's Thanksgiving, and I just don't think I can be.
Did they ask you to be happy?
Well, not exactly. They asked me to find something to be thankful for.
Ah, I see. You know, Chester, being happy and being thankful are different. Being happy is merely a momentary feeling of pleasure and contentment. Being thankful is recognizing blessings and expressing thanks for those blessings. Being happy and being thankful don't always have to go together.
Wow, Robbie, I never thought about it that way before.
Actually, the Bible has a lot of great things to say about being thankful. Take 1 Thessalonians, for example. In chapter 5, verses 16 through 18, it says, "Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." Everything that happens in life, what the Bible calls all circumstances, has God working in it. If something happens that is very good, we are to give thanks because, of course, it is from God. However, if something bad happens, we are also to give thanks in those moments as well, because God is using that to show His glory in a way we might not be able to see just yet. But we have to recognize that God is still there with us during those hard times.
Gee, Robbie, that's very true. God has never let me down and will always be with me. And you're right, God has a plan for Gobi leaving, even though I can't see that plan. But, to be honest, I still feel kinda down, though.
Hey, Chester, I overheard you and Robbie talking and decided to come check on you. I want you to know that it's okay to be sad that your friend is moving. you can be thankful and sad at the same time. And I let you in on a secret that helps me in these situations. I try to think of positive things that will happen because of these situations.
Oh, I think I see what you're saying. Like, since Gobi came to know Jesus through our Christmas program a few years ago, maybe God could be using him to spread the love of Christ in Oregon?
Yes, that will be a very positive outcome.
Ooh. And Robbie and I could invent some kind of holographic communication device so that I could talk to Gobi and it would seem like he's in the room with me, even though he'd be all the way in Oregon.
That is a great idea, and I will help you. We could get started right away.
Yeah, maybe we could even have it done in time for the Thanksgiving dinner tonight. Robbie, boot up the old computer and let's get started with the code.
You got it.
Chester, don't push yourself too hard. Also, don't forget, I need you to get those vegetables for me.
Okay, Robbie, let's try testing those first few lines of code and see if we can even get the 3D projection and audio to work together like we need.
Chester?
Right. Then we'll proceed from there to the housing mechanism.
Oh, never mind. I guess I get those vegetables myself. I wonder if Alex will help me. I'll bet if I play up the old man card, she would. Oh, Alex, your dear old grandpa needs you.
Well, I would officially like to welcome you all to my home for Thanksgiving. I am truly honored that you all treat me as a member of your family, which makes me all the happier that I am able to host this very special feast. Now, before we partake of the meal, would anyone like to say a little something of what they are thankful for?
I would, Professor Tinwhistle. I am thankful for such a loving and supportive family. I don't know what I would do without each and every one of you. I would also like to say thank you to God for always being with me, no matter the circumstances.
That's very touching, Chester. Anyone else?
I would like to say something, if that's okay, Professor Tinwhistle.
Of course, Gobi. Go right ahead.
Thank you. I would like to say just how thankful I am for your family. Your family welcomed me when I was feeling the lowest I had ever felt. Your family helped me find the love of Jesus Christ. And your family continues to make me feel loved every day. You guys really are like family to me. I mean, let's be honest. No one else would have invented a hologram communicator just so I could be here for Thanksgiving dinner. So seriously, thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
And Gobi, we want you to know we consider you a part of this family as well. And you know you're always welcome in our home anytime you're back in town.
Hear, hear. I say, what a great Thanksgiving this is.
Well, I'd like to have a turn if that's okay with everyone. I'm very thankful for all of you as well. I'm thankful for a loving grandfather who was kind enough to take Chester and myself in when we needed him. And I'm thankful for my dorky little brother who always keeps me on my toes and reminds me to be happy and to be a kid. And I'm especially thankful that we get to eat real turkey this year, instead of one of Grandpa Eugene's crazy animal mashup concoctions.
Gee, thanks, Alex. That was very sweet.
And on that note, let's partake in a Thanksgiving blessing before we dig into our meal. Dear God, Creator of all, we would like to bring our gratitude to you today for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. Your grace and mercy are present every day.
Hey there, Grandpa Eugene.
Huh? Oh, hey there. Chester, my boy. How are you and your Thanksgiving chores going? Have you finished cleaning the garage?
Oh yes, it was a snap. It only took about 5 minutes.
5 minutes, huh? I find that very hard to believe.
Hey, Chester, that was a great idea you had to use my old shrink ray to shrink our mess in the garage and dump it all in the desk drawer. Now we have plenty of time to play before Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, hello, Mr. Eugene.
Oh, I think I'm gonna go back into the garage and double check and make sure everything's put away.
Put away correctly, right? The Bible does say in James, so whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin.
Yes, sir.
What's wrong with you, Donald Downer?
Robbie opened his big mouth about how we didn't really clean the garage the right way, and now we have to start all over again.
Wrong. Now you have to start all over again. I'm using Robbie right now.
Yes, my apologies, Chester, but she technically did call dibs on me.
Great! That's just great. Just when wait a minute. You never need Robbie. Why do you need him today?
Because today's Thanksgiving, one of the worst days of the year in the Stevenson household.
Alex, how can you say that? It's Thanksgiving, the day we're laser focused on thanking God for all the blessings He's given us.
Well, that is true, but this is also the one day where Grandpa goes completely crazy over our meal. It's never a normal, good old-fashioned turkey dinner. It's always some crazy mashup concoction that's barely edible. In fact, I'm slightly convinced he does this so we'll become vegetarians, but not this year. That's why I need Robbie today.
Yes, Alex said she needs me to help her synthesize a turkey dinner so she won't have to eat whatever Mr. Eugene is cooking for this evening.
Synthesize? Like you're gonna create a fake turkey-like dinner, just like they do on those science fiction space frontier TV shows? I didn't think that was possible.
I'm not sure it is either, but we're sure going to give it a try.
Look, if you guys can go back in time and meet a talking dinosaur, I'm sure making a synthetic turkey dinner in an hour or so is definitely possible.
Well, now I'm intrigued. Count me in. What do we do first?
First, we need to gather as much information on turkeys as we can, so we know what we're working towards. I actually just finished downloading quite a bit of info, so let's go ahead and take a look. Turkeys are interesting creatures that have a lot going for them beyond being the official bird of Thanksgiving. Many people assume that turkeys can't fly, but that's simply not true. Wild turkeys have been known to fly up to 55 miles per hour. Another interesting fact is that wild turkeys actually sleep in trees. Turkeys can't see very well at night, so to protect themselves from predators, they fly up into trees at night and hop down to the ground once it's morning. Also, a turkey's head is kind of like a mood ring. You can tell the emotion of a turkey by the color of its head. It can change from red to white to blue, depending on their mood. And speaking of red, white, and blue, Benjamin Franklin actually liked turkeys over bald eagles, our national bird. He considered the turkey a bird of courage and a true original native of America. Could you imagine the turkey as our national symbol instead of the bald eagle?
All right, I think that's enough information on turkeys. Let's get this ball rolling. I want to make sure this thing's ready by dinner time.
I'm still very confused on how you guys are gonna create a synthetic turkey meal.
It'll all kinda happen. After all, it's not like this is a precise science.
Actually, I think this would have to be very precise in certain areas.
Alex, I don't know if this is a good idea.
What do you know? Move over, Robbie. I'll do all this myself.
Are you sure you know what you're doing, Miss Alex?
What's to know? Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
That's it. I'm getting out of here before you guys make a mess and I get dragged into cleaning that too.
Well, did you finish cleaning?
Actually, that's what I'm coming in here to talk to you about. Alex and Robbie. Grandpa Eugene, is your Thanksgiving turkey supposed to smell like burnt rubber?
Of course not. Don't be silly. And you know I'm not cooking a turkey. Turkey on Thanksgiving is so old-fashioned. I'm cooking eel, stuffed with haggis.
Wow, maybe Alex is right. Maybe you are just trying to make us vegetarians. Grandpa Eugene?
Yes, Chester?
Is your eel supposed to put off that much smoke?
Huh? My eel is burning. Chester, don't panic and go get the fire extinguisher. Come on, boy. Would you go get the fire extinguishers like I asked? Hurry!
Well, this makes my mess in the garage tame in comparison.
Now what are we going to do? Thanksgiving is ruined.
Ruined? It's not ruined, Grandpa Eugene.
Of course it is, Chester. Can't you see what's right in front of you? The eel is burnt to a crisp.
Oh, well, that's it. Thanksgiving is officially ruined.
Oh, no. Not you, too.
Yep, my plan didn't work. Apparently, I was working the computer too hard and it crashed right as we were starting the synthesizing and rendering process. Like I said, Thanksgiving is ruined.
I'm surprised at you two. Just because your plans didn't turn out like you'd hoped doesn't mean Thanksgiving is ruined. And just because you're worried about what we'll eat and how Thanksgiving will turn out doesn't mean it's ruined. I think you both need a refresher course on some things. In Luke chapter 12, we see that we are not to worry or be anxious. Starting in verse 22, Jesus says, "Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat, nor about your body, what you will put on. For life is more than food, and the body is more than clothing. Consider the ravens. They neither sow nor reap. They have neither storehouse nor barn. And yet God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than the birds? Consider the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, yet I tell you, even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass, how much more will he clothe you, O you of little faith?" Do you see what I'm getting at? Why in the world are we worried about what we're going to eat? If God gives plants and animals all they need, shouldn't we realize that he will provide for us, since we mean more to him than any other creation?
You're right, Chester, you're right. And honestly, it's not like we don't have other things to eat. I blew the situation way out of proportion. I was just upset because the meal is a special family tradition. But even so, we cannot overlook the fact that God has taken care of us, and still does, even now.
See? That's what I've been trying to tell you guys.
Actually, in light of the Thanksgiving holidays, I am reminded in Philippians 4:6, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be known to God." We are not to be anxious or worried about anything, but fully trust in our loving Heavenly Father. To help guard against worry, an attitude of thanksgiving will help us have the peace we need to trust Him.
I get it. By being aware of everything God's done for us and how he takes care of us and giving thanks for it all, we'll be less open to worry in all of our times of need.
Right. So moving forward, let's all be aware of how God has truly blessed this little family of ours. These tiny little setbacks are nothing compared to all the wonderful things God has given us.
And truth be told, a Thanksgiving meal with just the side dishes is still a really good meal. Guys, you'll never guess what happened. Tell them, Zeke.
Well, my mom was making a Thanksgiving meal, and as usual, she made way too much. She cooked so much turkey. We didn't even have room in the fridge. So she sent me to bring you guys some. Hope you haven't had too much turkey already. My mom's turkey is really good.
Hope we haven't had too much. Zeke, we never get to eat turkey on Thanksgiving. This is a Thanksgiving miracle.
Ha ha. All jokes aside.
Who's joking?
We really appreciate it, Zeke. We are actually in need of a main dish for our dinner. So tell your mom she saved the day.
Actually, we should thank God.
Yes, you're right, Chester. You're exactly right. Mr. Foot, we're glad you joined us for our Thanksgiving dinner. Any family of Yeti is a family of us too. But I'm not quite sure I get how you both are related.
Oh, all us Bigfoots, Sasquatches, skunk apes, Yetis, Yowies, and abominable snowmen, we're all related. Yeti here is my cousin on my mom's brother's nephew's niece's grandson's side.
Interesting.
His mom's nephew. No, his brother's son's mother.
Uh-oh.
What's uh-oh?
That came from the garage.
You don't mean...
I think I do. I think your synthetic turkey was actually created.
Whoa. You guys should go check.
We won't have to. Alex ramped the settings on the computer too high, remember? I told her it was a bad idea.
Robbie, what are you trying to tell us?
That we'd better hide this turkey. We're going to have another dinner guest.